Hi everyone, Kupo here. Second video on YouTube's, and I'm here because there's a cause that I personally am part of and want to get out there, and that's video games are good for disabled people. So if you're disabled, mentally or physically, video games can be very helpful in giving you something to ground yourself or something to do if you have, because God, the free time abysmal. If you really want to wreck someone's life, give them all the free time they want and all the money they want. They'll destroy it in a month. Believe me. Uh, and also as a way of self therapy, because I had no use of my hand whatsoever, and through video games, I got it back. So I'm a firm believer of this. So I'm here today to teach people who might be older, never got into them, whatever you may have, and just it seems like too much of a daunting task to really get into games. But I think they would actually really help a lot of people, with especially with neurological diseases and people who were in car accidents and such that lost a majority of use of a limb. They would be very helpful. So here to give you basic life skills used in gaming. These are all basic life skills I feel like we all have and we all use every day. And if you don't, get them because you need them. All right, we're starting on number 1, organization. Organizational skills are so imperative to gaming, it's not even funny. Almost every game uses some type of organizational skill, whether you notice it or not, and it's going to be it's what's going to be like the easiest way to transition into most games that are considered easy to play games are going to be majority you using your organizational skills. And by that, I don't just mean putting things in the right places or organizing by the sense of making sure everything's in the right category, blah, 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 blah. Organizational skills, I also mean being preemptive with your organization. Knowing what you need when you need it and having it in a ready slot. Understanding that, hey, I'm using this a lot, I should have it easily accessible to myself. That type of organization. Similar to what you would do with your car keys or your wallet or your purse. You put it near the door when you have work early in the morning so you don't forget it. That type of organization is invaluable in games and it's going to take you really far. Number 2, deductive reasoning. That is a skill that I feel like everybody has to a degree. Some people have it more than others, but it's a skill almost everyone should have. You should be able to look at something and say, okay, like a toaster. As humans, we have this ability to look at a toaster in a society, like it's by society as well, but if you're a human being, you look at a toaster and you look at a piece of bread, you go, I think this piece of bread fits in that. Okay? Like, by deductive reasoning, that's what I'm talking. It's not anything crazy. You're not solving a murder or something, which, I mean, technically you can, but it's dumbed down for you. So, yes, it's very basic deductive reasoning skills, and it's nothing you have to really worry crazy about. By that, I just mean if you press the A button and your character jumps, that's how you jump. So I mean this in the nicest way possible. I'm not trying to be just, but yes, that's what I mean by deductive reasoning. Play with your controls, learn the game, get a feel for it. That's what like me as a gamer, that's what I always do. I don't always read everything. I usually just play with it till I get used to it. Doesn't matter if you're good or bad. Play with it. And then number 3, a general understanding. So by general understanding, I mean who, what, and why. Who, what, where, and why. The four W's. So we're gonna go by the four W's, and that's what I mean by general understanding of what you'll be doing, where you'll be doing it, why you're doing it, and who you are playing. So that's by general understanding I mean. I don't mean of mechanics necessarily, because that is something that comes later. When you first start a game, general understanding is who, what, where, and why. And you can look for those. You'll usually get them within the first 5 minutes of the game, with most games. Some games are a little trickier, and they like to hide it for some reason, but it is what it is. Once you get a general understanding of what you're doing, you actually find it to be more enjoyable. If you have no idea what's going on, the game's not fun. It's just frustrating because you're just dying and you have no idea what's going on. That's why a general understanding is very important for games. And we do usually have a grasp on general understanding in our daily lives with the who, what, where, and why. We use that all the time. You get it when you read a book. Get it when you pretty much watch a TV show. You're using a general understanding of the situation. And that's why I count it as a skill. Not something that you just get handed. Sometimes you have to hunt for it. And then we move on to active listening. The thing that we all should do in life. Actively listen to others so we understand what's on. By active listening, I mean you're actually paying attention and listening to the game. You're not just putting it on and just like, okay, whatever, let's get this over. Like, no, you're listening, getting in tune with it, and you're actually understanding what's going on. That's why if you have general understanding while active listening, that alone can get you through majority of games. Like the first four can get you through almost any game. Strictly because active listening, because games, they want to tell you how to play them. That's kind of the whole point, is that they are accessible. And they want you to learn, and they want to show you how great of a time you can have with them. And if you sit there and actively listen and take in the information, you will have an amazing time with a game. And then let's move on. Number 5, imagination. Not every game is strung out for you. There's sandbox games, they call them. It's a sandbox. What do you do with a sandbox? Well, whatever you want in a sandbox. You figure out a way to have fun in a sandbox. I mean, sitting in a pool of sand is not fun unless you make it fun. So that's why imagination is on this list, is because you have to get creative. You have to really lay out your own story in a lot of games and have it just be what you want it to be. And that's the great thing about it. You get to use your imagination. You get to be creative. You can have that outlet in a pre-made atmosphere that doesn't require you to put in an exuberant amount of effort. Like sitting down and doing a painting, that there are a lot of days where I can't do that. But there are a lot more days where I could sit down, play Minecraft, make a castle. It's something creative and fun I could do on my own with the help of a game. And then 6, we'll move on. We have tenacity. So tenacity is a very important skill. A lot of games. By tenacity, I mean like a stick-to-it attitude. Yeah, there's going to be games you don't like. You don't have to suffer through it. But if you're just kind of confused and you're like, I don't understand this game, then, or if you're just bad at it and you think you should be good, it's fine. I'm bad at a lot of games, and I still enjoy them. I'm bronze in League of Legends. I know true tenacity. Okay, let me impart this knowledge. I still stick with it because I enjoy it. And that's the thing about it. It's enjoyable. And I would never know that enjoyment if I just gave up. That's why tenacity is a very important skill to have. It lets you just keep going. And believe me, it took all my tenacity to learn how to play games again with my hand the way it was. I had about 12% use, they said, about 10 to 20, like about 12% use. It was basically a raptor claw, about a year and a half. And I had to reteach myself how to play games. And slowly that got me working towards it to where I can play games normally again now. But that took me a couple of years. So if you have a neurological disorder, it will take you a while to get used to everything or just to learn it. It took me 2 years to relearn how to use my hand properly. So it's not a rush. It's okay. Just enjoy it. Just take it in. Then we'll move down to adaptability. Every job has this on this thing. How adaptable are you? Are you a team player? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Adaptability comes down to what are you willing, like, do not be stubborn. Don't just sit there and slam your head against a brick wall and try to brute force everything. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you just have to be a little creative with a sprinkle of cheese. By that, I mean create like an alternate method, and you can overcome any challenge. That's true in life, and that's true in video games. And these are all just basic skills that I feel like most people should have at least a grasp on through school, work, or even just like going out with friends. You use all these skills on a daily basis. You can say that you're an unorganized person. I am the most unorganized person, but I know how to organize. Do I care to? No, not really, but I know how to do it. So it's a very good thing to keep in mind that you don't have to be good at these to translate them into gaming. You just have to have a basic knowledge that these skills are usable and use what your strengths are. So if you're very good at deductive reasoning, then you should play a mystery game. That seems like something like a mystery game where you have to solve a puzzle like The Wolf Within. That's a very good game for people who like mysteries. If you're really good at organization and you enjoy it, Stardew Valley, that's a very great game. It's on like every platform, and it'll give you an outlet to feel useful. Because I know a lot of people struggle with that when they get disabled or injured for an amount of time or get older, is you feel useless. Stardew Valley is a great way to feel useful because you have menial tasks that you do every day. It sounds lame, but it feels so rewarding just to get up and do something. Whereas IRL, I can't always do that. Certain games really saved my life. Or let's say you have you're a quick learner. You're good at just grasping information quickly, which then maybe a strategy game might be right up your alley. There's a lot of good games out there that are strategy games. There's I almost said Blackguard. Never mind. I'm drawing a blank. XCOM. And then there's Halo Wars for Xbox. On Switch, there's too many to name. There's Triangle Strategy. There's Tactics Ogre. There's a lot of good strategy games that if you want something to keep you interested and keep learning new information, those are good games to go. Like Fire Emblem, XCOM, those games. If you're good at grasping basic ideas quickly. And then 4, active listening. If you're really good at that, I'm going to be honest. If you're great at active listening, play shooter. That will give you a heads up on anyone. If you're good enough to listen to footsteps and stuff, that'll give you a big edge. And if imagination's your strong suit, pick up Minecraft. Have fun. Go and build to your heart's content. It's adult Legos. Go crazy. And then if tenacity's your strong suit and you're willing to be punished over and over again and you want a game that's absolutely beautiful, go hit up Elden Ring. It's going to be a hard journey, but I believe in you. And the game does too. It'll give you every opportunity to have an amazing time if you just let it. Then number 7, adaptability. If you feel like that's your strongest suit, then my recommendation to you is any platformer. So Mario game, Sonic game, anything like that is definitely going to be right up your alley. Because you don't always need to conventionally finish levels in those games. And being adaptable to situations is a good suit for that. Where people wouldn't really call it a good skill for it. But personally, I think any platformer being adaptable is amazing in any platform. I've played platformers more than anything. That's any game where you jump. It's a side scroller or a big world and you jump on platform. Pretty simple. So I've played a lot of platformers and I feel like adaptability is a big one. Because the same strategy doesn't always work for every situation. Sometimes you have to switch things up and be a little creative about it maybe. But you just need to be willing to change how you're going about things. And that's kind of how those games keep their freshness. That's how they keep interesting, is that they do challenge you in different ways and force you to think of different solutions. So that's a rundown of the skills and of games that if you have a particular expertise in one of these skills, then that's the games I recommended here today are definitely going to be right up your alley, and I would definitely tell you to go and look up some of these games and look into them, because that's another big thing is people don't research is also an important part of games. I'm going to be going over that in part 2, which is this is going to be a 5-part series. This is my first video. So in part 2, we're going to go over research and how to properly research a game. Yes, there is a wrong way before you ask any other information. Yes, they're wrong. And if you have any questions, leave questions in the comments. If you want to be mean to me, leave them in the comments too. Anything's allowed. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for listening. Hey, Maggie Kupo here, and if you made it this far in the video, oh my gosh, I can't believe you actually did, because that's ridiculous. This was really boring. But if you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Check me out on my Twitch. I stream pretty much daily, if I'm feeling well enough. If you have any questions or anything like that, just hit me up on my Discord. Or just send me a message on YouTube or just comment. All right. Have a wonderful day and love you all.